Hey, everybody. Welcome to this segment of Black Spring. Now, I know it's Saturday, and I appreciate you for coming in on this Saturday. And today I want to do something a little bit different. Um, of course, I do have some things that I'd like to roll out, maybe, but I will be doing those later. But I just thought maybe on a little bit more of a little bit more on a talk a little bit we can talk a little bit about civics a little bit, just a little bit, but and we're going to talk a little bit about, and I'd love to hear your thoughts and your opinions, of course, in this stream. And then of course we'll lighten it up, try to keep the balance in check. But we want to talk a little bit about civil disobedience. I have a few things I want to share with you. In fact, I'm going to start off this stream with an actual poem that comes out of a bit of a 20th century poem. It happens to be, but it's a thought-provoking poem, and it also, I think it's apropos to the dynamics that we're seeing across the country, and we are seeing Americans exercise their First Amendment rights. And whether you agree or disagree, it's certainly a place where I think it's warranted, and I think we're going to see more of it. But we will get into that. Snapzilla Gorilla, how are you doing? Nice to see you on this Saturday. Happy Saturday to you, Chrysler Imperial H. Thank everybody for coming in last night. Last night was certainly a star-studded. It ended up being a star-studded, impromptu live stream, and I was happy to have the TR show, TR himself, come on, and he did a very inspiring performance. And yeah, so great. I appreciate you guys for being around and basically helping out with the supporting me on that stream. So yeah, so I'm going to be sharing a video with you guys. I'm going to be good to hear from you, Snapzilla. I'm going to be sharing some footage on this stream, and then after that, then of course you guys are welcome to, I'll do some shout outs, and then, we can get into the community commentary. And then of course I'll open it up for anybody that wants to chime in on what they've seen or what they're seeing. And of course I will tell you the new program, or the new engagement that I'm going to roll out for the sake of just supporting. Not only do I support other channels. There's many forms of support. It's not always monetary, but we can support each other. I like to support other channels and actually be engaged with those channels, even if they're not doing a live stream. You can always be engaged because there's content. We are content creators ultimately, and it's nice to to build on those concepts. So yeah, I'm a little bit early. I know it was scheduled for 11 o'clock, but it is 10:55 on the Pacific Standard Time in the morning. And so I will actually start the video. The video is about 8 minutes. It's actually going to be live footage is what you're going to see. And I will tell you about that. So yeah, thank everybody that's in already. I think this is going to be, you're going to hear all kinds of opinions. You're going to hear all kinds of, you're going to have, people are coming out with their convictions. This is what we are, in protesting and activism. You're going to see these kinds of things. You're going to see more. There's things that I think that are actually scheduled. Some of those dates, I'm not sure, but I know that I'm seeing like there's some regional stuff that's going on. or some people that are putting things out that are going to be regional activism and regional protests that are going to start, which they've already started. But I will bring you that in about 3 minutes. Does anybody have anything they want to? Did you guys have a good? Are you off to a good start on your weekend? Are you off to a good start? I mean, I know it's kind of cloudy around here, but you know, no less, it's definitely Saturday, and you know, it's been every week is eventful right now, but it's also it's kind of eventful, but at the same time, not a lot, not a, you know, there's things are not, you know, we just have one, there's like one, sometimes things are so in the media, they hit you so fast, you don't really have time to recover, or either you just become so desensitized that you can't even see, you know, the whole picture. So what I'm bringing is some real-time footage. Someone posted it. You're going to see people of all backgrounds represented in this footage. Of course, you make your own conclusions, but you know, I think it's nice to see that this is out there, and it's nice to see that, you know, that we've become our own reporting. We've become the news. And shout out to Olivia Fred TV. How are you? Thanks for coming in. And we will get started in a couple of minutes here. Just a couple, maybe even 1 minute. We'll start in 1 minute. So yes. So just for anybody that's coming in, this is going to be the entitlement here on this stream is called Shore Up Saturday. Well, you're going to end up shoring up in one way or another, even if it's just bringing awareness. And awareness helps us engage. It helps us figure out where we are and who we're dealing with. And I think that's going to come in handy. Like, for instance, if, you know, we're dealing with, you know, municipal power and all of that kind of a bit. So yeah, so you'll have opportunities, and hopefully you might walk away with something that or at least a perspective that you didn't have. And let's see. So I'm going to go ahead and start here. So here we are again. We're going to end up being on a bit of a topic of civil disobedience. And let me just say this. This is a disclaimer. No one here, for those that like to, you know, like wordsmith and manipulate things, this is no way or near me advocating for violence. But we're talking about the issue of, or the engagement in civil disobedience, and even some level of, you know, activism or whatnot. This is what we'll end up dealing with. So with that said, I want to open up with something that I think is a little bit, you know, that it's of course thought-provoking, but this comes from a 20th century. He happens to be the background. He happens to be, just 1 second here. I will give you thanks so much for everybody coming in. So actually we're getting right into the time that I wanted to start. So, all right, so here we go. We have a poem. It says, quote, "First they came for the communist, and I didn't speak out because I wasn't a communist. Then they came for the trade unionist, and I didn't speak out because I wasn't a trade unionist. Then they came for the Jews, and I didn't speak out because I wasn't a Jew. Then they came for me, and there was no one left to speak out for me." So this poem actually came from Pastor Martin Niemöller, and it's actually a poem that came from came from the Nazi Germany era, in which, we're starting to see some things that are not quite atypical anymore, that we see things that could potentially happen, here in America, if things are not, if we're not really aware of what's going on, if we're succumbed by fear and apathy and indifference. And many people, that's where they reside. They reside there all the time. They don't know any difference, but they are overwhelmed with what they're watching on these mainstream mockingbird sources. So what I want to do is open it up with some footage. Not sure if you've seen the footage before, but I thought, hey, it's a bit interesting. And so we'll see what happens here. And as always, I'd like to thank everybody for joining me on this segment of Black Spring. I'm going to play just a little bit of it. I might play more than that. We'll just see how it goes. That's going to depend on you. Your engagement will tell me how much of this I want to play. So yes. So I will be sharing a screen with you. So just give me 1 second here. I'll get that screen going for you. Okay, so I do believe this footage was taken on, I assume it was taken on an iPhone. And this is just something, just something to have a look at. It's not, we're not subscribing that this is, let's see. All right. So here we go. Now this footage is actually, looks like it's reportedly taking place in, it looks like it's Huntington Beach, which is SoCal. And I'm not sure if you guys are able to see it as well. I'd like to see if I can zoom in for it. Just give me 1 second here. I'm going to take a look at it, see if I can make it a little bit wider.
Yeah. Niggas gang, same thing. Niggas gang, same thing. Look, yo, if they don't like the country, please. Free America. Stop the oppression. Stop the oppression. Economic collapse is going to cause way more problems than the friggin' virus. Then China moves in and takes over. You want to live under communist China and keep the friggin' oppression. It's all a scam to sell vaccines, man. All a scam. Bill Gates wants to kill 99% of the population. And Elon Musk with 5G, that's what this is about.
So we have police on the scene wearing masks. It's actually, a bit creative. They have it's a parade. It's more of a parade and a protest. It's a little creative.
So what do you think? Not today.
You can see got lots of posters there, lots of
My
messages.
point is, if these people don't believe it, why are they covering their faces?
All right. I'm going to wrap this one up. And Chrysler, I'm definitely going to respond to your comment. Hang on one second here.
Thank you. Want to see your sign? So,
hey, I just read an unbelievable article in the Epic Times. Take a look.
Okay.
It was about the inside story of Spygate, and for the first time ever, they connected the dots for me in a way that I can understand what has actually been happening in our country over the last.
All right. Thank you for tuning in to this segment of Black Spring with Autumn. And for my first comment, this is from Chrysler Imperial H. Chrysler says, definitely tell people getting fed up with this lockdown. Yes. And to my next point, Chrysler, for anyone out there, of course, this is free game question here. What do you guys think? What do you think civil disobedience means in this case when it comes to, the effects of the lockdowns and that kind of a bit? What do you think is most impactful? Do you think that this is impactful, what they're doing? Or do you think this is going to be low impact and it's actually not going to send a message, or it's not going to, because, they're doing it on a local level. But I think at some point it might even, like, I think there's some other rallies or whatnot that are already set up for, like, maybe like next month, like maybe even in the Bay Area. I think maybe, but definitely for the month of May, that things are already kind of being set underway for that. Yeah, because I mean, you do, if for everything to just crash, or to to leave everything unattended and just let it die, willfully let jobs die and let the economy go. Well, we're already seeing the effects of the initial impacts, and I think we still haven't even quite seen those. When it comes to, and not just the unemployment rate growing, but also, what that does to things like food supply, workers, and I mean drivers that are able to get out, the health of the drivers, or drivers that have just basically either they've been laid off on some level. Yes, I'm sure, you guys have your own perspectives on, if we just cut off the supply of oxygen to the economy, are we going to have more deaths from starvation than what the numbers show? Okay, it's it's a tough situation, of course. No one's denying that viruses exist. I mean, in fact, our body has tons of viruses, but it's not all. It's not, we don't, everybody doesn't die from all the viruses that we have, or potential viruses that we have, or the ones that are dormant that we don't know that are there. It's just, this is going to be, it's going to get heated. It's going to run hot. It's already running hot. So yes, Chrysler, people are definitely getting fed up with I think what most Americans want to see is, we don't want to be babied. We want to be given you at your own risk. I mean, what other things have come out that you didn't take? You take a risk when you walk out the door. You take a risk when you get in a car. But we've all been advised. We've all been given, the risk, but then we have to make a decision. I mean, that's a part of, liberty. And it just seems like we're going to get smaller. We're going to get crushed even more. Manipulation happens when fear takes over, I think, is what the concern is. And taking over, the government taking over, is that really going to solve anything? Is it going to make us healthier? I mean, you could see all of those signs out there. It's just, of course, everybody's going to have a different opinion about this. And then, of course, everybody's been affected by this in a different way. But I mean, but there's like a plural of hearsay everywhere. I don't think that our governor has made, I think he said he had a nothing burger kind of press conference yesterday where he came out and said a bunch of nothingness, a word salad. And then, the people still we were still nowhere on what is your timeline. I mean, just to keep the more gray it is, I think that's when, the lack of transparency. Okay, Shirley Cords. I mean, are you? I'm not sure what you're going through, but you're getting close to like spamming the chat here. If you want to say something, I'd like for you to put together something and put it there, contribute it. But dropping quotation marks ×3. I mean, we know what quotation marks are. So mods, you know what to do. So yeah. Yeah, we're all, it's all about, you know, you want to contribute something here, you're welcome to do that. But this is not about bullying or any of that. That will not be tolerated on this stream. No spam, no bullying, no campaigns. And I did put those in the on the community tab. So yeah, so if anybody else has anything they want to contribute, I mean, this is kind of, you know, I know I'm coming at this from a, you know, I'm looking at something from a domestic demonstration, but you know, you got to stay in line. So yeah, so let me do a shout out here for the people that are in the chat. Snapzilla Gorilla, I really appreciate you for coming in. Chrysler Imperial H, I appreciate you. Yeah, you're gonna end up you know, in no man's land if you don't get it, if you can't figure it out, or leave the chat. You know, you have the free will to do that. Thank you so much, Chrysler Imperial. Now that's the first time we can expect those kinds of things around here, but you know, yeah, I don't want to go into teacher mode. I don't have a yardstick or anything like that, but that's why I have my my mods. They're locked and loaded to do what they need to do at any time. So yeah, but I really appreciate you guys for coming in, and I just wanted to see. Oh, Olivia Fred TV. Yeah, shout out to you. I'm sorry if I missed anybody. This is for Chrysler Imperial H. Olivia Fred TV, Snapzilla Gorilla. I appreciate you guys for coming in. And I appreciate you guys for, you know, for having a look at it. Oh, thank you so much, Chrysler Imperial H. You know, and I don't want to turn this into a rant, but you know, it's amazing that, you know, that I find that, you know, as people that can't find the words, so they just resort to, you know, they go somewhere else. Like they rather pick up, rather than use a word, you start throwing rocks, or you start, you know, you go to your emotional place, and or you know, it's just you know, it's safer to throw a rock than to, you know, express something. But yeah, I appreciate that. It's like, well, I've you know, I've seen that kind of thing on well, I've seen things on other chats, because of course I've been engaged in other people's chat rooms, but you know, but I'm just going to kind of get back to where I was. I appreciate that from you, Chrysler. Chrysler Imperial H is the hardest working mod content creator in my community of YouTubers. Because I think I have my own little circle, my own circle of YouTubers. And I think Chrysler Imperial, he always delivers. And I appreciate you for that, for everything. So let's see. So where was I here? Let's see. So yeah, I was talking about, you know, just like, you know, some people believe in government. They believe in, you know, they believe that, you know, maybe government, if they don't have a God, maybe they believe in government. Maybe that's their God. I don't know. But you know, you're going to have people questioning what's going on. You know, we're not, and this is not the sheep channel, you know, so if people come in here and they can't handle that, then they're going to, then, you know, disobedience and bad behavior is not going to be tolerated. bullying is not going to be tolerated. So, but yeah, but you could also see, you know, people were showing, I mean, whether you're there, no matter what you're there showing, or what, if you decide to go to a rally or to a protest yourself, I mean, you could see there were signs that, you know, that represented people showing their support for the president. But then there are people that are just there that are just showing, they're just saying, look, this is the law of the land is the Constitution. I'm not sure what, you know, and this situation does not trump that. No pun intended on that, on the use of that. Let's see. Chrysler says, I'll give him one more, and it goes, and it continues, gets timed out. I appreciate that. So yeah, you know, I mean, I'm, like I said, I'm not going to set any specifics for, I know, I trust your guys' judgment, on things that can happen here. But, you know, this is I've said this many times, this is a provocative channel. It's a provocative time that we're in. And I'm not here to mock, to give one-liners and to repeat what I heard on mainstream. I'm not even here to repeat everything that I may have heard from an independent source or another alternative. But, you know, I'm gonna offer my conviction, and everybody else they're free to do that. But this is not the bully stream. Yes. You know, and I mean, I think I told you guys once before, like, I haven't seen that person back with that whole stay at home kind of campaign. You know, there's going to be all kinds of campaigning going on, but just not here. That doesn't go for this channel. Let's see. So yeah, that protest was, of course, in Huntington Beach. I think, and I think LA will probably have their own protest at some point. I think some people tried to say that, you know, I think maybe somewhere along the line, maybe somebody thought it was LA that protest was happening in, as if LA makes it more credible. Is that because of the Hollywood? Is that because of you need Hollywood to make you need to be doing stuff in the land of stars in order to have a credible protest? Yeah, in fact, there's a concert, I believe, going on today. So it's pretty ironic, you know, all this stuff is happening. Hi, Snapzilla says, hey, everyone in the chat, I'm in the Costco line. Ha ha ha. This is ridiculous. Are there lots of people? Are they monitoring? Are you doing the social distancing there? Are they doing it? Are they monitoring how many's coming in and out? Snapzilla, I haven't been to Costco. And by the way, I am in the San Diego area. Not Orange County. Hi, Lin Yin Chin. And I'm getting Merry Christmas from you. Is this Christmas in July or Christmas in April? I guess. Well, that's interesting, you know, because I'm just thinking, you know, the longer this goes on, you know, they kind of started this thing out. This started out a little sloppy, you know, like the sloppier you get, the more people are asking questions. And I think there's a little sloppy. I'm going to be honest. I'm like a prairie collie. I kind of stay in the same areas. I haven't been into I don't really go out that much, but you still have the social distancing. I think they've added some social distancing megatrons. What can I say? They got a megatron in the parking lot while you wait outside before you enter. And in fact, I'm starting to see the traffic in the volume of people it's kind of slowed down a little bit. You know what, Snapzilla? I'm going to tell you the truth. I think they're going to try. I'm just going to tell you. I mean, people can call me a tin hat wearer. I'll put it on if I had one. I just think that there is I don't know if you guys remember He-Man or whatever, Masters of the Universe or whatever. I think the people that are behind the scenes that support other agendas, I think they're going to do anything to kind of crush. I don't know. I'm just saying, I just think that the plan that I'm not sure that what we've, they keep talking about a plan to roll out to reopen it, but if we're not united in our reopening, how are you going to, if it's an issue of safeguarding, how are you going to prevent other people from other states that just say, hey, my state or my city and my state is not under these restrictions. Hey, I'm just going to drive over there. How are you going to do that? You know what I mean? How are you going to control people that have been lifted? Because it is going to be warmer. It's getting warmer. It's going to be warmer. And people are going to they're going to try to satiate whatever norms that they can latch onto. They're going to try to have some mini vacation. They're going to try to do some things that they remembered in our formal free, free will. They're going to try to do some of those things. Hang on a second. I got it right here. You said you hear about the social distancing enforcement drones that several U.S. states are using. No, I haven't. Now, I did hear about something down in Chula Vista. I think they were doing that to break up crowds. But I think that was something they were testing out. There was an entire cover story that they were testing out drones. But see, this is just absolutely, this is state surveillance. This is a state surveillance that we're about to be under. I mean, I don't know. I mean, is this going to be something we're going to, that people are going to have to go through, in a legal situation? Is that going to be, it's going to get held up, probably if you go after the state but going after the individuals from a legal standpoint. Let me see. Let me just throw this in here. Chrysler Imperial says, I think it could be much larger protest in Los Angeles. And Snapzilla, he said, I'm going to the beach. And he said, guess who donated some of the drones? Oh, wow. Who? Please tell me. That's interesting. Okay. Lin Yen Chin, Christmas is the act of celebrating Christ. Christian is the act of following Christ, just like the resting in the grace of God, and both are states of character. It means you choose when and how Christmas is. I hear you. I can see the spectrum there. But yeah, I wouldn't be surprised who donated those. But I'm just saying, that is so. Well, let me say this. There's a huge hotel there's a historic hotel it's in San Diego. Yeah, so it's in Coronado. There's a hotel that has, they say that the Hotel Del, which is the name, it's Hotel Del, it's actually owned by China. In fact, I'm told that there are many homes that are huge and they're not even occupied, but they're owned by China, by Chinese or, China. Yeah, I guess I'm not surprised. I mean, it just seems like I don't know, Snapzilla. It just seems like we've been had. Like the tethering, because I'm just going to say that I just think that, this is a struggle. This is a grab, a power grab. And I do believe it's going to, I think they're kind of showing they're basically showing they're showing their power in some way, you know, and of course they'll deny it. And then of course we'll see the opposition start to yes, exactly, Lin Yin Chen. Yes. And that's the same thing. That's what's happened in Africa. They've kind of entered, and you see, I showed a video yesterday of how they are basically discriminating against the Africans. They're evicting people from their apartments, kicking them out. Not They can't enter restaurants. People won't even serve them or sell them any type of food. And I bet no one, none of the so-called the people, the elites, they're not, and even the celebrities, they're not going to go to the aid of those people and fight and stand up and fight for those people. They're not going to say, why they're not going to protest anything that's going on there. This is a human rights violations. You have people sleeping on the streets that happen to be, they're either African or they're Black, they're Canadian, they're Haitian, they're Ugandan, they're from Mali, they're from Nigeria, they're from Kenya. All of these people are being, mistreated right now. But at the same time, they're absolutely like colonizing and setting up corporate locations all over the country right now. And I think one of the country's leaders was saying, I don't think we can pay, that we can pay back all this, infrastructure that they're putting in place. So they're indebting them. It's like they tether. It's like this, they're tethering these nations to, whatever their generosity is. Or, you've had people claiming, oh no, they're not taking advantage or exploiting them. They're trying to make them, autonomous and make them independent. Yeah, but look what you're doing. But their people can't even exist in South China. So here it goes. So Snapzilla says China basically owns California. And Snapzilla says we've definitely been had. And that's right. And I think people are looking, I've said this before, I think people are looking for a God in leadership, but you're not going to have a God. And I'm going to say this on a political standpoint, from a political standpoint, I don't think any man of human blood and flesh can save this country or undo the tethering, that can undo the entanglements. And then you got all these lip service politicians coming out saying, oh, well, we need to bring supply chains back. Well, you were sitting there, you signed off on the stuff on the legislation that sent it out. So all of a sudden we're supposed to believe that you would put legislation, you would do something that would bring those supply chains back. Snapzilla says that protests are pointless. So you're thinking it's a low impact. And thank you, Lin Yin Chen. They won't move against power that is greater than their own, the elect. They just move on lines of lure that's tethered to Chinese power. No, they're not. They're not. I mean, and I haven't said this before, but I'm going to tell you right now, I don't claim any party affiliation. I mean, we've got a lot of Lynn is fine. You can call me Lynn. Okay, Lynn. Thank you for that. But I'm just saying, like, both sides of the aisle, you look at their track records. Look at the ones that have retired. They've all played a hand and signed off, and then look at the way they treated, for one, just for instance, they treated Massey when he spoke out against this initial plan, this initial package, it basically, they weren't challenging. They're not challenging, how much. One way they were challenging, and in one way they weren't. So you got all this fiscal irresponsible and wasteful spending, and then what they wanted to spend it on, porking up stuff. And I think this next round, I mean, it's like they're already telling us that you're not likely to return to a norm. Are they not showing? Are they not showing everybody, to tell everybody, oh, this is going to be lifted? Yet they're still coming. They're still writing bills. They're still writing bills for another package. Does that look like we're coming out of this? Does that sound, would they write another stimulus package if they weren't claiming to be, if they weren't purportedly stimulating anything? And then when you think about it, most stimulus packages that have been passed in the past, it actually doesn't stimulate anything. If the jobs are just dropping off the vine, and the companies are shutting down, and the people are going to the house, what are you? I mean, of course, you need to do. There's things that need to be done, but I mean, is it a show at this point? Is it just a show because they already know? They already know that they're not trying to open this economy back up. I'm not, I'm not convinced. I don't care, if you draw it down politically, it favors the left if it doesn't open up. And then on the globalist level, it's all in favor of them. It's favoring them. To keep it down, to keep it closed, favors both entities. And Chrysler Imperial says, I agree that we need to take our country back. I mean, I hear you, Chrysler. I mean, it's just the scope of it is just, or as Trump says, the swamp of it. I mean, you needed a task force just to find out the depths of the swamp. How did you get back to that? How can you? When the cancer or when the virus is within, how can we? When people are working, the people that are claiming to work for you are actually taking you down or tethering you to things that are going to suppress. And Lynn says, give a man a fish versus let him fish. It's like they want a welfare state. The welfare state puts us at the mercy of the government. And I think that's pretty obvious, So, like I said, I don't want to turn into a rant stream, but I'm just thinking, everybody's not drooling minions and everybody's not a sheep that can see that there's another framework here. You have numbers that don't add up, that don't have the impact that they claimed. I had a professional tell me that people that went to that people that canceled their appointments would have been better off showing up for their appointments rather than going to an ER where they were going to get painted with this whole situation. And you're getting that from the medical community. Old head Deuce, how are you doing? Are you new to the stream? Hey, Derek C said this the plug. Thank you for coming over, old head Deuce. We're just yapping it up a little bit, Let's see. Let me just read this from Lynn. Lynn says, Jesse Lee Peterson says, men must go back to the good old days via forgiving the traumatized spirit of old mama within, allowing them to overcoming Satan and restore an order in society. Well, I certainly, Jesse has a lot of experience, and he has a lot of experience with, not only, life experience, but I mean, I think he's lived through many things. And I think, it's a cultural, the culture of this place has just changed. I mean, overall, like, there's a push for female dominance. And I mean, you can see it in your news, in your cinema, you can see it all. And I for one, I'm never going to say that I don't need help with, that I don't need help as a woman with something. There's just certain things that men can do that I cannot physically do. Is that a disparity? But to me, it's just a physical. It's more biological, and I cannot deny. Or what you notice that they're using the word science. Everybody feels good about throwing the word science around these days, which is still it's a gray area. So Lynn says the culture has changed, but the order of character progression is formulaic and universal. Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, to me, it's the same type of, you still got the same engine powering, same workhorses powering all these agendas and all these, they want everybody to think and act the same way. And that's control. And here we go from Old Head Deuce. Thank you for coming in. You guys get acquainted with each other. I appreciate you for coming in. The mind control and the hypnotism is all around you. Simply think for oneself. It's not as easy as one thinks. Right on, Old Head Deuce. I appreciate you for coming in. Thank you. Yes, it says people just refuse. They just refuse. They want to be told. They want to be told, oh, this is this, the poor thing, you, let me tell you, let me live vicarious through you to promote my own agenda. In the meanwhile, they're promoting their own agenda. They know they got you exactly where they want you. Make you helpless or to keep you down. And I just think that we're headed for a nasty year. I don't know. We've become so docile and, and dormant. I just, even speaking up, standing out is, you're at risk for some kind of attack. But it has to be done, no less. It has to be done. I don't know. You got to know what you have your own. Do you have your own boundaries? What are your boundaries? What are your values? What can somebody take from you? How much are they going to take from you before you? Is it going to take somebody taking something from you to find out what that is, or do you already know? So let me do some shout outs here. I appreciate it. Snapzilla Gorilla. So glad you came in. Chrysler Imperial H. Olivia Fred TV. If you guys could do me a favor and hit the thumbs up or the thumbs down, whichever. I probably have a thumbs down. That doesn't, I mean, to me, a thumbs down is not, it doesn't, it's annoying because to me, it's not, they went somewhere else, but of course they didn't contribute anything. It's the way out. It's like, to me, throw the rock and run kind of a bit. Somehow that's more effective than actually, having a dialogue or, but I rarely do. I really do a thumbs down. just, you know, just saying. Because that, to me, it really doesn't say a lot. Let me see. I'm going to keep scrolling. Chrysler Imperial Age, shout out. Snapzilla Gorilla, shout out to you. Lynn, glad you came in, Lynn. And we have a new person, and that is Old School Deuce. Okay, so I'm going to read this from Old School Deuce says, the mind control and the hypnotism is all around. Yeah, well, I read it already. But yeah, absolutely. It is all around. It's surrounding. It's just surrounding the place. And unless you're promoting, if you're not promoting destruction, or if you're not promoting those things, then you don't get any time. You don't get any air time. Let's see. Lynn says thumbs down might have the same effect as a thumbs up on the algorithm on the that share content. Nice. Thank you. That's an interesting perspective on that. Probably working against me in some ways. Okay, Snapzilla says, how long are you going to be on? I'd like to hop on when I leave Costco. It was my goal to do. It's actually my goal to try to do 2 hours. That would be like another, at least an hour, another half an hour. I'd like to try to get 2 hours in today. So maybe roughly, I'd say safe side with maybe 30 minutes to 45 minutes. Yeah, I mean, I'd love it if you could come on. So yeah, but I mean, I might make it longer than that. I just want to, you know, give it to you as straight as I can. But yeah, and it might just work out just fine. That I might make another hour, but yeah, but take your time. I'll be around here. I really need to shore up the hours around here, and yeah, so yeah, but I appreciate it. Yeah, see you soon. Yeah, for sure, be around here, and yeah, I'd like to shoot you an email also. Yeah, so yeah, but I'd love to hear what's going on at Costco, and how are they even doing with their shelves and supply, because I'd like to go to Costco. I haven't been in a long time. So yeah, I really appreciate it. But yeah, but you know, what I was saying is, you know, it's in, you know, they've been doing, you know, the propaganda and the rhetoric all the time. You see Netflix. I don't even support Netflix anymore, because I found that, you know, that the content that I've found on there, even if I decided to try something new, try a new series, try a show, it all started being, it was all prophetic. It was showing you know, more manipulation of people, and more just showing these lifestyle kind of shows or stories in which, you know, a person's credit would be evaluated based on social standings and social networks. And yeah, I mean, and to me, all of that became just a little bit too close to home. So I don't really support Netflix. Yeah, and the Netflix has a few engines running behind it that I don't, you know, that I find that to be peculiar. And some people might say it's a little convenient, you know, the content. Like, I mostly would defer to Netflix because I watched older cinema and older programs that you don't really find on mainstream media. But the futuristic things, or the 21st century kind of programs that they were doing were just a little bit on the borderline, control, foreshadowing the control that we're seeing, foreshadowing what technology will do, shadowing, a lot of, just a lot of things that I just don't support. And I just couldn't watch it anymore. I didn't want to bring that kind of energy, or even, I didn't want to open my mind up to that kind of thing anymore. Because, but then not that cinema hasn't done this before. Like, let's see. A whiteboard to visually articulate the notions you plan to unfold in the stream. It's low tech, very 1980s, but it can help even as an aesthetic appeal. Yeah, maybe I will get one of those. Yes, that's exactly what I'm talking about. You said foreshadowing malicious intent of the elect. Yeah, it's I don't know, like it even foreshadowed like some of the, other heads of states and their political, political dynamics, it's just a lot of like some perverted kind of things going, just stuff that I just don't want to, I don't want to imagine those things. I don't want to be entertained by things that I don't want to be associated with. So yeah, but it's okay if they sell that to you. As long as they can sell you what they want you to think, or what subconsciously, where those topics could take you, it's fine. Let's see. So here you go. Old head Deuce, they want you to feel trapped, which is leading to paternalism for your own good. Well, it's certainly, I think it's working on a lot of people, unfortunately. Thank you, Old Head Deuce. And Lynn says it's good not to get lost in thoughts, be they of the past or the future. Be present in the now. That's how you capitalize on opportunity and keep yourself from emotional constipation. Let's see. Old Head Deuce, your boundaries, I think, are connected to your value system. I think so too. Yeah, I think so too. This is, we kind of started this thing out talking about civil disobedience, but now we're kind of going into like the shadow influences, or just the indoctrination. It's I think it was Yuri Benur. There's a guy that's done that talked, that basically foreshadowed what he saw that was happening to this country. It's basically a Marxist Lenin technique that he spelled it out. He expanded on it, I think very well, and that's actually in my playlist. But I think, yeah, they use all branches of influence. They're going just to persuade people. If you don't have any framework or no concepts, you don't have any mental, if you don't have your own thoughts, you're not reading anything, you're just going off of sound bites and whatever they give you, then you have no, there's no way for you to have, you're never going to have anything opposing, or you're never going to be able to think. In fact, even teaching, they don't teach kids how to think. They say, oh, write this paper. And, the kids say, oh, I got to write this paper for a grade. I remember that was something that kids would say when I was in school, in grade school. And I don't know if I ever said that it was for a grade, but that's exactly what you think. All you can think about is that, oh, I got to get a grade. So I got to do this, but I don't know why I'm doing it. I don't know why I'm doing it. And then your critical thinking suffers from assignments with no, that lack, logic and lack, support. And I think that makes it easier for people to defer to their emotions because they don't know how to form. They don't know how to form an argument. They don't know how to support it. And so they just kind of go down in flames. We ended up just testing as a teacher, they end up testing the kids more than they teach. At some point, the teaching just turned off and they're just testing kids to find out, well, you got 100 deficiencies over here. Let's see. Old Head Deuce says, don't worry about thumbs up or down. Just get it right. Yeah. I mean, I'm in this YouTube system right now. And it wasn't my original plan to build myself up via YouTube. But I figure, I'm here, so I'll try to make the best of it. Lynn says, yes, Old Head, your heart defines the borders of distinction in what enveloped and defies your sense of identity. Giant robot lives matter. And he also says, yes, at Old Head, be it in like or dislike, the attitude and attention of us strangers shouldn't sway your heart as she gathers intent to share her worldview. Yeah, well, I mean, it's like I said, it's all feedback. It's feedback. If I wasn't interested in some form of balance, I don't think I would do any kind of a stream. I mean, there's some people, if you don't agree with every single thing that they have, that they say, you automatically, you're shut down. Or if you challenge anything, then you're, oh, you don't agree with everything I say? But you can increase your lot a lot better when you're balanced. Or when you can have balance. Let's see. At Lynn, the mama spirit. Female energy and spirit is under attack. I agree. Strange haters. Yeah, I mean, I expect that. I mean, I'm not whining about it. It's just an acknowledgement, that people they're not going to like everything, or they're not going to comment. They're not going to offer anything. They're just going to, hit the button and skip over to the next one. Time for popcorn. Check it out. Old Head Deuce. Time for popcorn. Is that a channel on YouTube? Real Black got the exploitation. Real Black got the exploitation. I mean, I'm going to write that down. So yeah, what do you guys think about, anybody that just joined us, what do you guys think about about civil disobedience? Or what do you think is effective civil disobedience? Let's see. We have time for popcorn. Now, I heard a minister say that we should grab our popcorn because we're ready for a ride. Tubi app. I like Tubi TV. Real Black got the exploitation. I'm going to write down these things. Thank you for sharing that. Paying for movies. Okay. So yeah, I think it's interesting what's going on. It's interesting. It's you know, we don't know what's going to happen next. And, but it is nice to see that there are some people that are willing to, you know, to share their opinions, or they're willing to speak up, even if it's not, you know, even if it's not directly, even if they're not sick, or if they're not, you know, even if they're not, or even if they don't know anybody that's sick. Let's see. Paying for movies. Okay, yeah. So that's just, you know, that's what we're, you know, this says, it does say shore up Saturday, but you know, we're shoring up. We started out with one angle, and where we wind up, you know, sometimes that goes with you guys. So the other, I did tell, you know, I did mention this earlier, that I'm going to be doing a bit of a, all right, Lynn says all of civil disobedience is effective and the consequences vary. The masses must move as one for optimal effect. Yeah, I played a video earlier of some protesters that were Southern California protesters. In fact, there's an actual concert going on right now, and it's by Global Citizens, I believe. You know, of course, I think Lady Gaga, you know, of course, they have to bring out you always got to go to you got to go to Hollywood to get credibility, right? Yeah, it's a Who fundraiser. So I'm not sure where that's taking place. I think it's a stream. Yeah, in fact, I think the director gave her a shout out earlier this week. I'm not sure the logistics on it. I think maybe even Elton John might be a part of it. So okay, I have a headline here. Give me 1 second and I'll share this with you. I'm not going to play this. I'm just going to share the verbiage. I can't say that this is not something that I've vetted or by any stretch, but let's just have a look and see. Let me just read this one. Lynn says maybe they just needed her rebellious and demented vibe to reflect their cabin fever based insanity. Let's see. So she's the chosen one. So the One World concert. Imagine that. Okay, so because we're all, and you're starting to hear that more. You're starting to hear that by we're one world, we're one da 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 da. There goes the indoctrination. So here this says, I'm just gonna why not? I'll just play it. Thank you guys for joining me on this segment.
I actually have a lot more calls to make, so do you want to make one with me?
I would love to. I'd be honored. Who are we gonna call?
I think we should call Tim Cook.
I don't have his number.
I'll just give it to you. I'll send it to you. I don't know if he knows he's going to be on TV just yet, but we're going to FaceTime him and find out.
Really? Hi, Tim Cook. It's Jimmy Bell.
Hi, Jimmy.
Hey, Tim.
Hi, Gaga. How are you guys?
How are you?
Nice to see you,
Good
Tim.
to see you.
Okay, I guess you guys have a strong stomach, right? Thank you for that, Chrysler Imperial H. Oh, and then Lynn says, and he says New World Order, and then Lynn says, oh, One World Government concert. It's more globalist propaganda. Absolutely. Absolutely. And that's all this is. Let's just bankrupt the whole world. We can do it like that. That's our MO, is to just crash everything and say, hey, we're all broke now, so we might as well just pile all of our resources together. That way, nobody will ever go hungry again. No one will ever be ill again. No one will be, there'll be no more disparities. It's almost like it's like a faith. They want you to believe in it. And they need these people to sell it to you. Believe in one world is going to solve your problems. We all went down together, so we have to come back together, right? Right? So let's see what. Lynn, you run the narrative. Your intellect is as good as any. Okay, let's see. I'm going to read Lynn. That's from Old Head Deuce. It says, my ekulo. I'm black and slow, just like Jesse Lee Peterson says. Old Head Deuce. He said, at autumn, you're a breath of fresh air because of your topic. Oh, well, thanks. Thanks for tuning in. You know, there's a lot going on, and it's a lot going on, guys. And I appreciate you guys for coming in here. You know, and Lynn says, we are already one in Christ and truth. See? Chrysler Imperial H says, wake up and pull your head out of your you know what and smell the coffee. Len says, movie apps. Yeah, so here's the deal. Okay, let's play, you know, we'll see how strong your stomach is. It's only a couple of minutes. I'm not a big Hollywood person, but so this basically is a One World concert on how Lady Gaga organized an at-home together fundraiser, Indy 100. So let's just, let me see what happened there. I guess that guy, hold on, let me close that one. All right, so let me make sure it didn't stop playing.
So Tim, I feel bad because you're on TV. Sorry.
Oh no.
We're airing this, but this is all through.
It's gonna be fine though. I promise. Like, everything's gonna be fine. I had a question for you, if you don't mind.
Not at all. I'm just working from home.
Of course, we all appreciate everything that Apple's done already to support COVID-19. And as the CEO of Apple, we're very grateful to you. I was just wondering, we spoke last night about a certain number for the donation, and it was quite sizable. And I just wanted to make sure we were okay on that this morning. Can I confirm you for that donation?
You can confirm me. We're so proud to be a part of this.
Yeah! My next single's called Tim Cook.
Hey, I love it. I can't wait.
I'm putting that tomorrow.
I can't wait.
You just helped a lot of people. Thank you so much.
That you're doing this.
Thank you.
Gaga, this is amazing that you're making these phone calls and doing this.
Tim's the one that's making it happen. He just picked up the phone.
Yeah, that is true.
Thanks so much,
I appreciate
Tim. You're the best. Well, I'm going to have someone follow up with you just to lock it in, okay?
Will do.
Bye, Tim.
We love you.
Bye-bye. See you, Gaga.
Thanks for all the Apple stuff.
Thank you.
I love that you can make these phone calls to somebody. So that's all right. Yeah.
All right. You got something out of that. So there you go. There you go. There you go. What's at work? There you got some philanthropy there. You got some Hollywood credibility. Are you guys getting the picture here? I mean, okay, so I have a comment here. Old Head Deuce says civil obedience without a philosophy is not going to work, not going to be worth the energy. Yeah, I hear you. I mean, I like I said, I've only seen this one. I've seen this footage in California, but then the footage in Michigan I haven't seen. So I'm not sure who's putting these things together. Yeah, but you can see that Hollywood is they're always at work. You know, a lot of people, oh, we haven't heard anything from Hollywood. And yeah, really? Yeah, they're at work. They're at work on the CFR, the Council of Foreign Relations. They're at work with everything that's not on the ground, that's not directly related to what's going to sustain liberties and any form of sovereignty. So Lynn says, Jesse's quote, whoops, hold on, I'm going a little fast here, guys. Jesse's quote, silent prayer, end quote, is a meditative routine with nootropic effects. I highly recommend it, along with long-term fasting, 24 to 48 hours, even 72. Balance your heart and refine your mind. Lynn says to new design. And okay, that's amongst you guys there. Who is Jesse Lee Peterson? I'll let you give him that. Says the philosophy concept is liberty from globalist invasion into national identity, autonomy. Hello, Caterer and Hair TV. Welcome in. Thank you for coming in. And there you go. There's your ID on Mr. Peterson. There you go. You got it. So yeah, there's tons that you can, you know, he's definitely got a lot of, he's got a lot of knowledge. And I think he's a hard worker. I think, you know, he makes his point all the time. And many things that he said have been pretty prophetic when it comes to whether he's talking about on a community level. I think he started out working on things that were on his convictions, or I think he started out working on things that he was concerned about, but then he expanded it and basically said, you know, this, you know, he already knew that these things were affecting, you know, the culture and the structure of, you know, the family. I think all together, he already knew that it wasn't a color me conviction. Is not, he's not a colorist, I think, with his conviction, but I think he speaks from, it's a personal, he's personal, but he also knows, I think, the way, you know, the heart is, I think he believes that the heart is wicked. And I think he believes that people just defer to their emotions too much, and they don't really, and it blocks and blinds them. And Old Head Dude says, no one world until those reparations are paid in old world cash. Whoa, 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 whoa. All right. So you're on the, that's another topic, another show. And Lynn says, nothing is ever a big deal. Stay in the present. JLP. So let's see. It says, okay, consider this. Democrats equal anarchy and Republicans equal anarchy. Yep. I can consider it. and believe me, I have. The thing that I say, the big point of delineation on that to me would be that they, you know, they came from their base. They all started out from somewhere, from a place different, a place that was vastly different. And, you know, control is what they thrive on, and they latch on to the populace. They latch on to anybody they, you know, and they've got this culture of people, you know, we can't even, everybody's looking for disparities, and make everybody miserable is what we seem to, you know, is what I seem to get from them. You just think of some of the representatives, the way they talk about people, you know, the way, I mean, when I say when they talk about one specific group, you know, they kind of talk about people with a bit of an ownership tone at times. Let's see. Let's see. Now you guys are getting into another a trench. Reparations are unnecessary handouts, and our ancestors suffered when they were brought here, but it is not us who suffered. Don't be bound to gravity or depravity that we didn't directly experience. All right, guys. So that's, I'm just going to do a couple of shout outs in here. I think we picked up a little bit of traction here. Got some interesting dialogues going on here. Snapzilla Gorilla. Shout out to you, Chrysler Imperial H. Olivia Fred TV, thank you for coming in. Cheryl, she's not with us. I don't know if she's coming back but I appreciate you guys for handling that. Let's see, either say something. Okay, sorry about that, Chrysler. I didn't mean to repeat that. We had to do a little tough love here at the beginning of the stream. What else was I doing there? We had Lynn Yin Chen. Lynn, aka Lynn, is here. Thank you. And we had somebody else that came in. Old Head Deuce, shout out to you for coming in. And if you're not, and I may not be subscribed to some of you, Old Head Deuce, I'm going to make a note here. Some of you I don't think I'm subscribed to, but if you tag me, then I'll come over and I'll come over and visit your place, your dwelling. Let's see what else we have here. Caterer and Hair TV, shout out to you. Thank you for coming in. Okay, so here it is. Let's see. Lynn says, my blood is Jamaican with Chinese admixture. Old Head says that Lynn, I study Chinese culture. And it says, we can't mature if we seek handouts, especially from people that you hate. It's detrimental to hate anyone. Getting gas, I'll get on after. Excellent. Thank you, Snapzilla Gorilla. And Old Head Deuce at Lynn, that's all good, but they need to produce my 40 acres. My family comes from sharecroppers. They owe act passed. They failed to pay with interest. Haha. Let's see. Chrysler says, have to leave a comment on one of your videos, Black Spring. Thank you, Chrysler. Yes, if you guys could leave a comment on one of the videos, that's all good. That's helpful if you want to check out my page, check out my channel. I mean, I think by now there's, of course, there's a range. There are medium length videos, there are short videos, there's vlogs. I don't mean to do self-promotion right now, but there are vlogs, there are longer videos, there are of course longer videos, there's streams, there are tons of places, tons of variety of things that you can see. There's some panels on. I'm going to be doing some things that I might vlog. I may be vlogging some sustainable efforts. So, and if you guys will give me 2 shakes, give me 2 to 3 minutes and I will be right back. So don't leave town. Don't leave town. I'll be right with you. Hang on just 1 second. I'm still here, guys. Believe it or not. One more minute. All right, guys. Thank you for your patience. All right, I'm back. All right, Snapzilla, you're here. Here we go. Here we go. Okay. Okay. So there we go. All right, I'm gonna read a couple comments here, guys. Let's see. Do I need any comments? Lynn. Let's see. Okay, Lynn says, I don't believe in Corona as anything but a control mechanism and a distraction from several interrelated plots that are now at play to reshape our world. Let's see. Okay, let's see. Did you get it? I put it there for you. All right. This is, all right. Let me just stop sharing that screen there. Snapzilla Gorilla is joining us here. Ladies and gentlemen, how you doing?
Hey.
How's it going on your Saturday?
I'm good.
Good. Glad
running errands.
Glad you
all by myself.
So you did you
yeah.
Costco?
Costco was crazy. I just got out of there and just way too many people waiting in line. And I was one of them, so look at me.
All right. So how are their shelves pretty well stocked, or are you seeing it they're
Yeah, they got everything. There are no more limits.
Oh.
Yeah. There were no toilet paper limits, there were no wipe limits, there were no water limits. They had everything fully stocked.
Well, it looks like it's time to go to Costco, folks.
You know what I'm saying? So I think people just stopped panic buying, knowing that it wasn't really that big a deal,
Yeah. Well,
Like, there's no reason to panic buy. They're acting like the world was ending tomorrow. This is why I say you just buy a little bit extra every time you go shopping. You buy a little bit extra, and that's all you do.
well, I think that's helpful. Yeah, I appreciate that. I appreciate that perspective, and at least you've got some foot on the ground experience in Costco right about now, because that was the last place I was going to go, because I think there's one place where they just added a gas station. They've just added a gas station to one of the locations down here, and I haven't been there, but I figured that line was probably going to be looped. A couple
The
of
gas line?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
No, the gas lines are pretty empty. Yeah.
Good.
Not a lot of people buying gas out there.
Yeah, it's kind of yeah, I mean, because I guess people are really not going, they're not going that many places. Everybody's not going to work. The demand is, I guess, down.
Yeah. They just go to the store once a week, or they go to the food banks. I saw a food bank in Carson. It was like going, it was like 2 miles long, the line.
Are you serious?
Yeah, because you can't, you got to drive up to it. So there was 2 miles worth of cars waiting to get in to this food bank to get some food. And this is what they love. The government loves to see people waiting in line for food that they provide. And they're not even the government providing this. It's like private charities. But nonetheless, they're getting people used to lining up in lines 2 miles long to get a box of food. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
So, yeah. Yep, I was right there. I saw it. I almost filmed it. But
oh wow. Well, that would be, I mean, I haven't seen, I don't know. Like I said, I don't really go that far. I think at one point, the sheriff was saying that they weren't looking for they weren't dealing with voluntary compliance anymore. They were just going to start handing out tickets. If you go to the beach, you're going to get $50 or $50 ticket fine, or you're going to go to jail for 50 days. That came from the sheriff, I think, about a week and a half ago, about 2 weeks ago, maybe close.
Yeah. I mean, it's all about money. It's all about extorting the people. That's what all this is about. That's why police officers are just extortionists. They're enforcers of the government. Now, I know people like to say, "Oh, there's some good cops." If they're good cops, then why are there so many bad cops? If they were good cops, they would not stand for what the bad cops are doing. So that doesn't make you a good cop. That makes you an indifferent cop. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because you're behind the blue line, in my mind. Because, yeah. But that's what all this is about. This is about money. This is about power and money. Exacting their power over us and extorting us. And even though they gave us $1,200 checks, that's another form of extortion. Because we're going to have to pay that back.
It's crumbs. It's crumbs. And
not only that,
it's crumbs, and it's also, it's debt. It's not that we're in the black. It's not like we're a country that's in the black. I mean, and then like I was saying earlier, with there being another package, it's like they're already projecting that they're not going to let up on this thing. Not if you're already creating other packages. Not if you're telling people that that this thing is going to come back during flu season. How do you know that? They
don't. They don't know nothing. They know nothing, Jon Snow. You know what I'm saying? Look, this is the problem. They don't know.
Facts.
They're making this up as they go along. They're making it up, and I don't know. Like, I'm not going to speak on the validity of the C virus, because if you say certain words, I don't want to get your stream shut down because I'm saying certain words. But I'm not going to speculate on the validity of the C virus. But whether it's real or not, they're still co-opting it. If it's real, they're co-opting it and taking full advantage. And I don't know if you heard about this, but these hospitals are getting $12,000 to $40,000 to have COVID patients in their hospitals. You know, and they don't even have to diagnose them through tests. They can do it symptomatically. Oh, you can't smell them right now? Okay, you have COVID-19. Or shoot, sorry, I shouldn't have said that.
All right. You're allowed one.
Yeah, they're going hard on this. I know plenty of content creators. Once you get past 1,000 subscribers, certain things you can't say. You know, so I've seen plenty of content creators, big ones. They're getting shut down because they're talking about this, and that should tell you something too.
Yeah,
that should tell you something.
Control. That's controlling, and it's you know, it's you know that's no. It's like there is no. They're just trampling all over what we're supposed to have. You know, I mean, if the Constitution is based on human and natural rights, well, you're just crushing. You're crushing all of that. You know, it's like we have no right.
They don't care about none of that.
During, you know, and that's why I'm saying,
Zero.
like, to me, even the whole voting situation, is that working anymore? Was the vote was? Well,
you know what? You know how I feel about voting. You see it?
I think I can see that. I see a little bit. I see the colors. I think I see the last word. Is that Slav? SLA?
Slaves.
Yes.
Voting is a suggestion box for slaves.
So I'm just saying it's not. I just think that we've got a lot of lip service people in the government running their mouth. They're not doing anything, pretending like they have somebody. They've got somebody's interest at heart, but it's not ours. You know.
Oh heck no, nope, never in life.
They want this thing to me. They want this to be a welfare state, so that they can go ahead and give in to the globalist
central banking system. Yeah, the central banking system, including Trump. I'm
thinking a lot of people are getting frustrated with just like the representation. I mean, who's actually representing the people at this point? Us,
people like me and you, people like Richie from Boston, and people like they call us conspiracy theorists. The people that are representing the people are conspiracy theorists who dare to judge and question the government. That's who represents us.
Well,
go
ahead.
Huh?
No,
it's fine. Go ahead.
They say that the whole thing about conspiracy theorists was created to cast doubt. You know, that the CIA created that.
Yes, the CIA did that. Yeah. And if if something came from the CIA, you know it's BS. You know that it's subterfuge, it's mind control. You know, anything that you get from the CIA, because Mike Pompeo said it. I think I talked about it last week. They lie, they cheat, they steal. They train their agents how to do it. You know, the CIA had their hand in so many global events, things that shaped the world and shaped history.
No.
Just how long has the CIA been in effect? I think at least 70, 80 years.
Yeah.
And since that time, no, they shape the events. They initiate coups in other governments. They install governments. They sabotage and they create issues and problems, and they spark wars. Like the Contra Wars, that was a CIA thing right there. So this is what we're dealing with. We're dealing with the government. And if I just, for the life of me, I don't understand how people can think Trump is in there, he's going to save everybody, when you have such an entrenched system that's designed to keep people down. I don't understand how people can believe that. Like, I can't wrap my mind around it.
Well, I think I saw a YouTuber yesterday that was he was like, where are you, Mr. President, on a lot of these issues? Where he said, where are you? Where are you?
Yeah.
Where are you?
But
people, you know, look at Virginia. You wait, this guy Northam lets the people get quarantined, and then you start pushing laws through that people.
Oh, he did push laws. Yeah.
Uh-oh. Snapzilla. I think a little technical difficulty there. Okay, I'm going to read your comment. I think we might get Snapzilla back. Let's see. They said the Central Intelligence Agency was created on July 26, 1947, when Harry S. Truman signed the National Security Act into law, a major impetus for the creation. Constructed, no man can create. Quote, create, end quote. Hang on just one second. I was just making some coffee here. It's already made, by the way. Just making some coffee. Some coffee for the live. Oops. So yeah, but looks like we lost Snapzilla, but usually he comes back. So appreciate you guys for coming in, and you know, we've just had, hope your sleep pattern is okay. My sleep pattern, it's not. It's not the best. It's not, and I'm not sure how to make it. I'm not sure how to make it consistent anymore. I'm not. I try. You know, it's just, you know, my background kind of makes things a little bit different, but it's not consistent. And so one of the worst things is, I think, to wake up in the middle of the night and you can't go back to sleep. If you wake up, if you have to get up for anything, and I'm pretty much kind of done. Like, you can't have a big disruption, I think. You know, I'll take a look at that. I haven't done. Once upon a time I thought about doing it, but I'll go on to I'll log on and go on to his site and see if I can do it. It looks like Snapzilla has come back. Woohoo. Are you there? Nice to have you back.
Yeah. They shut my whole internet off. I had to go on my phone. I had to go on my phone and turn my internet back on.
Oh no.
But I'm
Oh no.
I'm on the home Wi-Fi right now, so I got a couple minutes left. But yeah.
Cool, just in time. We're gonna wrap it up in probably like 10 minutes anyway. So it'll be a great close to the show. I don't know. Worst case, maybe I'll go live again later today. I'm kind of behind. I'm pretty behind on these hours.
Yeah. Yep. No, I like what you were talking about last night about the playlist party, or the playlist. You can let your playlist run, or somebody's playlist run while you're sleeping, and then they'll go through the whole thing, and that way you give them hours. Yeah.
So what I'm going to do, I think on Monday I will pick the playlist. I think I said I was only going to do one, but I'm thinking I might do two playlists a week. And you know, that way I'm to me, that's a support mechanism, I think, for my subscribers that come on to the live streams, you know?
Right. Of course.
So yeah. And I'll pick that out. But I was just wondering if you had heard it, because I showed a video earlier of those protests that people were doing in was it Huntington Beach?
Yes.
And I don't know, and you know, people are doing these protests, but I'm not really sure I don't know what's going to be impactful. You know, I don't really know what's gonna be helpful. I mean, I don't know if the civil discourse is what's gonna work. I don't think so. Yeah, because I think they're trying. I think the goal is to not open back up, to not normalize.
They keep talking about the new normal. The new normal. This is going to be the new normal from September to August. But now that August, but now they're trying to tell us that the heat doesn't kill COVID-19.
They say it does.
That's what they're saying. They're saying, oh, there's people in the Philippines, it's 90 degrees, 100 degrees. I'm like, man, so the only virus in the world not to be killed by heat, well, like you got malaria, you got different things like that do survive during the summer, but those are down there. Those are near the equator, and they have adapted. But you sit up here and going to tell me that a virus that originated in China is going to, they just make, so they want you to be fearful year round. This is what they want. They want you to be fearful year round of a bug that really viruses cannot survive outside the host body. It can't thrive or replicate outside the host body. But they're gonna sit up there and tell you that it's sitting on hard surfaces for 5 days.
What I mean, it's like, they're not there. It's like, okay, are you guys throwing everything you've every other condition, every other disease out the window for this? I had a healthcare professional say, I'm glad you came here instead of people calling in, missing their appointments. And then when they get sent to that ER or that urgent care, they're label them as the beer virus. And
the cerveza bug. Yeah.
So, and then that's, I guess that's how you're going to be billed. I mean, do you see what I'm saying? This is the trend. People are never going to trust. They're not going to trust, not even the medical community. They're not going to trust this stuff.
And that's good.
Are you going to trust them with a vaccine? You see what I mean?
Heck no. But see, that's the point. They're going to make you take the vaccine whether you want it or not. I mean, because, you go Bill Gates, the oligarch, the supreme oligarch of the United States, out there trying to dictate how we can go back to work. Who the heck does he think he is? Oh, well, we ain't even have vaccine certificates. Dude, if you don't get out here and go make a microchip, leave us alone. Who is this guy? What is this, Russia now? We got oligarchs running stuff? Man, they got me missing with that BS.
Well, see, that's what I'm saying. It's like, who's in control? And like, if I'm not mistaken, China, they've already revamped, they've already started their economy up. So what? That's automatically making we're going to be, right? Is it that's
tens of thousands of people died in China before that was able to happen. I don't know. So they say that the numbers in China, there were like 4,000 deaths. Come on.
No.
Come on, man. I mean, really? No, what I think happened is that thing ran through, whatever it is, like I said, I'm not speculating or making assertions about the validity of the cerveza bug, but whatever happened wiped out way more people than 4,000. And, they can open up now because they killed, I don't know. But you were talking about the protests, right?
Yeah.
I don't think they're effective either, because all you're doing is begging for the government. Oh, please, let us go back to work. Please let me open my business back up. No, the best way to do it is just to go do it. Build a community of support. Like, look, get all your people. All right. Now, allegedly, there's all kind of cops sick from the COVID-19, so there's not too many that can. We outnumber law enforcement. We outnumber all the extortionists from every agency, including the police departments. Build a support group. Build a wall of support around you. I'm going to open my business up, and I need to know if I do this, you guys got my back. That's how you do it. Just get your business back going. And good luck trying to get a fine from me, okay? Because, I mean, what we have now is unprecedented. All these things that they're doing, all these controls that they're placing on us is unprecedented. It wasn't even happening when Mario England was in control. So, I mean, you're talking about unprecedented tightening of controls on the American people that is so unconstitutional that when this thing is over and lawyers start getting involved, no way they can win. No way they can get these fines if we do it right. There's no way that these fines that they're trying to tell the business owners they're going to give them, there's no way that could happen. because you have the First Amendment, Second Amendment, the Third Amendment too, because you got the government is taking over businesses to do what they want to do with it, right? Because of the Trump's Demand Act. I mean, it's not necessarily violating the Third Amendment because it talks about quartering soldiers, but now you got the government taking over businesses, whether they like it or not. You heard Trump. He said he had to invoke the Productions Act twice or 3 times, and finally got the business to hop on board. That is straight up tyranny. I keep going back to this Trump thing because I cannot fathom how Trump, in these people's minds, that it's okay for Trump to say things like, "Oh, I'm going to invoke the Demand or the Production Act," or "Oh, I'm the supreme authority." You remember he said that?
Yeah.
He said, "I have the ultimate authority over not the states." He said, like, why?
Yeah, he's been. I mean, I'm telling you, there's a lot of. There's just so many things that are coming out, and there's a lot of things that have been said that I think there's a different meaning behind. You know, like, did you hear that there was something that he mentioned about, you know, after he signed the national emergency? That's been all over YouTube too, about him being, it's been my pleasure to have been, you know, president, like saying almost speaking in the past tense. You know what I mean?
Like he's king now or something.
Well, well, people were implying that the FEMA had actually taken over, like that he all over, which I don't think that's constitutional. They can't. I don't think he can just turn it over to another agency. You know, but at the same time, you know, like you said, I've seen on so many shows that everybody just talks about, they praise him like it's a praising. You know, I'm not one of these people. I would never be out here wearing like just, you know, T-shirts, you know, Trump 2020 all over. I'm just not, you know what I mean? That's not what I do. But I've seen it a lot, and I just don't know where people are thinking. Like, are they really satisfied? Like that, some people say, are those people being paid to do what they're doing? I don't know that, you know what I mean? Like, I just
like Shields. You know, Brandon Tatum. Yeah,
I watch that show pretty regularly when I can.
Yeah. Oh, I saw you. Was that? No, I saw you on ABL. ABL, no. That was ABL.
ABL, and because they both
Brandon Tatum
on Saturday. Yeah.
But I got on his head one time because Trump signed that $6.2 trillion debt slavery bill, and for the so-called stimulus package, and I got on him. I said, what we need to do, because he was all messed up in his head about Trump signing that, and he was drinking wine or something. And I told him, I said, hey, we need to decentralize the government and go back to sovereign states. He said, yeah, we need to do that.
Well, I remember one interview.
He had a weak moment where he was like, he was mad, like he was almost done with Trump.
I saw it. I think I remember him saying, we're getting played, or we've been played.
Yes. That whole show, he was like, man, he was pissed. So I don't believe that he's a shield. No, I believe that he actually believed that Trump, I don't know what kind of mind screwing is being done to these people to make them be so in it like that. The cult of personality disorder is very real, and the cognitive dissonance is all that is just ridiculous. Like, I don't understand how you can hold two opposing beliefs at the same time. You know, it just doesn't make sense. And that's what these they have such a huge following. If we can get them to see the light, true freedom, see what true freedom is. They have huge following. They have powerful voices, and they're very influential. I mean, they're dragging people from the left to the right, which is just the other side of the death trap. You know what I mean? And I almost had him that night. I was like, hey, man, forget about. I said, Trump can't help you. Even if Trump was a good guy or he had good intentions, there's nothing he can do from where he's at. Nothing. Because he's surrounded by he's surrounded by the bankster puppets. But I don't believe I believe he's a bankster puppet himself. I don't believe that he has good intentions. I believe he's messing with these people's minds. And every authoritarian thing he says, they think it's code for something else. Like,
Yeah,
listen,
like, are you following Q? That are you following that?
I don't follow that. Because I don't even understand it. The whole thing. Is it like on red? What is it on Reddit or something? I don't know. I don't even do Reddit. I'm like, I like to get a lot of information from different sources to see what different people are thinking. But I already know what Q thinks, and I already know what Q is having their followers think, and they'll lead them down a trail toward destruction.
Well, I mean, I hear you. I mean, it's just like I said. I think since I've been doing my channel, I've kind of walked away. I kind of backed off from watching so many of the larger YouTubers because it's the echo chamber to me. Like
the echo chamber is real.
If you're not challenging the things that you don't feel good about, then what are we doing? Are we doing more? Are we doing the same things that the mainstream media is doing at that point? Or, I mean,
yes.
I'm not beholden to any stakeholders. All I can say
right.
is, all I can do is speak what I see. Well, this and this doesn't match up. If you're saying you're separating yourself from previous administrations, then why did you say this? What is your agenda? What is your political agenda say? But I'm telling you, it's looking more like it resembles. If I find that it resembles somebody else's, then I probably wouldn't be. I'm not a part of the narrative. If that's going against the narrative. You know what I mean? So,
yep.
I'm just thinking you got to call, if you're going to call it out, or if you're going to say you're not a part of the narrative, or you're going against this, the constructs that are already there, then do it.
Then do it, yeah. And they buy right into the left-right paradigm lie. Like, and that's why it makes no sense. And that's why I do call in ABL show and challenge him. And that's why I do. Brandon Tatum doesn't do calling shows. I wish he would. I call him every goddamn episode.
Well,
but that's why I do call him.
Let me tell you, there was a show that I saw you did, and I was so glad you said it because it's something that I think all the time. I'm thinking, okay, if you're whether you have Judeo-Christian beliefs or whatever, but Trump, he's still just a man, right? He's just a man.
Right.
Flesh and blood. He's not. Nobody can save us from ourselves, or nobody
right.
can save us from what we tolerate, and we've tolerated a lot.
Yes, and that's the point. Tyrants they can't be tyrants without our permission. They cannot be tyrants without our compliance. Whether and that's the thing about it. That's why so many Africans died on the way over here. Now, my belief is that they didn't bring millions of slaves over here. I believe that we were already here. They did bring some, but we were already here. We already had established some settlements and all that other stuff. But nonetheless, the people that jumped off those boats did not comply, and they did not have tyranny come over them because they decided, okay, they only had two choices: freedom or death. And they chose death. Even if you have to take it that far to not conform to tyranny, you have to be willing to do it. And that's how strongly I believe in freedom. If you know what I'm saying, like, but the problem is, like I said, it's not the tyrants, it's the people that allow the tyrants to be tyrants, because there's so many of them, and they kind of put us in this gridlock where even if we do love freedom, we still can't operate the way we want to. We can't function the way we want to in a society where people are just lemmings and go with the program.
Well, you're right. And to that end, that kind of brings me back to another video that I did earlier this week. What do you think about, I'm not going to talk about that organization. Do you actually think we're going to see some type of consequence for the beer virus and all that to me, I'm beginning to think it's all, what kind of other than defunding something or, you know, the tariffs and that kind of a bit, what else? I mean, we're so tethered. We're tethered to that country on so many grounds. You know, if they go down, kind of like they go down, we go down. You know what I mean? What would that look like? You know,
you talking about where the cerveza bug came from? That country?
Yeah, and and them talking about doing an investigation and all of this stuff. Like, what is that really going to look like? Is that going to be another you know, smoke and mirrors kind of thing? You know,
of course it is.
Because
we're on the hook to China for billions of dollars. We're on the hook. China has loaned us so much money over the years.
So that's why there can't be any real, you know, real consequences for that tight. So is, you know, and I've already done another thing on, like, they make most of our medications, the ingredients, all of that. And
yeah, I mean, we could be. Guess what?
What's that?
I mean, if we do produce our own medication, they still gonna get a cut. They're still gonna get a cut because we owe them money. Yeah, so it would be great to make our own meds here, but we still owe China. We still owe China. That's why they're buying everything. That's why they bought up half of San Pedro. Well, very important.
I was telling you about the Hotel Del in San Diego. They say that they own that. I hear there's tons of real estate, residential homes that are literally sitting empty, but that's who they belong to. Like, these are homes that are sitting on, you know, they're sitting on coast or they're sitting on bluffs, you know, they're just overlooking, you know, and there's nobody, it's being maintained, but it's actually not, you know, they're not occupied homes, but they say that's who they belong to. So I'm just thinking, like, it just seems like it's just like it's a setup, it's a coup, it's a vulnerability that we've been primed for. We've been groomed for this, and I just don't know if there's. I don't know if a voter box is the way is going to get us.
No, it's not. Every time we vote, every time people go out and vote, they're asking for rulers. They're voting for rulers. They're going out and saying, "I want you to rule over me." When they vote for somebody, I want you to rule over me or represent me. But what they're doing, they're going beyond representing us. They're creating laws on their own. They're creating laws, and then when we do get the vote on laws, it's laws that they present or the special interest group present. Well, have you ever been able to put a vote on a ballot?
No.
Have you been able to go, hey, I want this vote. Hey, put this up here. No, you can't do it. Oh, you got to get 1,000 million petitions. Oh, you got to get this, that. You got to do that. You got to go to the court. You got to dig to China, come back, bring a flamingo. Like, we can't. We have no say in the laws that are created. Even if we vote on a law, we're only voting on a pool of laws that were presented to us.
Right. So, we're not on the floor. We're not we're not writing the language. We're not writing the manipulations. We're not writing.
No.
And they write it. You know what I mean? You're right.
There's only one law that I want. Abolish government. If I could put one law on the ballot, it's to abolish all government, because government is no good. I used to think there were ways to get around it. Oh, well, what if black people create their own party, and like Tupac did right before he died? Or what if we do this? What if we do that? No, you can't operate within the system the way you want to. Once you get in there, like even Bernie Sanders, he's an independent, but he had to run as a Democrat.
See? I'm like, I'll tell you, if nothing else, you've seen people take an interest in, and you still have people walking around, well, I'm not really into politics. I'm like, is that supposed to be trendy? You know, if no other time should make you at least think about what's going on. What other time? You know, are we going to just stay locked in our houses? You know what I mean? It's like, and then what? And then are they coming to remove us? Is that the next thing we're going to comply with?
Well, I did a video where the World Health Organization guy, what's his name?
Tedros Adhanom, whatever.
No, the Irish dude. He was
Ryan, not the doctor.
Yeah, Michael Ryan or something.
Yeah.
So I did a video highlighting how he was talking about if a person that lives in a household gets COVID-19, then they should be removed from that home.
What?
In order to not spread the disease to family members. Even though you've been living with that family for so many years, they're probably already exposed. But if you start exhibiting symptoms, they want to remove you from your home. It doesn't make sense. You're already there. They're like my family. Like if one of us have it, we all got it.
Right.
So what's the point of removing one of us? No, it's to take us away from our children. That's what they want to do. That's why he's talking about, oh, we might have to go. I did the video. You know what? I did it on a live stream, and then I deleted it because it was too choppy.
I'm gonna go over to your house. Don't worry.
It was a live stream. It was a live stream, and for some reason I can't put out good live streams on my mobile phone because the connection is horrible. So I deleted that. But he said that. He said that's what they want. They want to go door to door, test you. Oh, you got it. We snatch you up, and I don't know, man. Best make arrangements for your kids. You know they got that now. They got the forms that you fill out because of COVID-19. That you can give, and then I want my kids to go here if I end up going to the hospital. It's crazy.
Wow.
So you got to set it up to where.
There you go. There you go. There you go. To me, that's another infringement. You know what I mean?
Definitely.
You're going, as you said, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and even 4. If you throw that 5G element in there,
yeah,
and then your phone but then it's already a fourth. This thing right here. Some people said they've already started just leaving their phones at home. It's an adjustment not to ride around with this thing, but they already know, right? They already know who you are.
Good. That's a good idea. I mean, I don't know, buy a sat phone. Get a satellite phone. I mean, that might be a better option. But the 5G won't work. It won't target you unless you have a device that takes 5G. Just FYI, because it's a beamforming. It's beamforming. It doesn't spread out like 4G. 4G spreads out. And then it just picks up wherever. 5G is a targeted system. It beamforms to your device, and then ultimately because you have the device on you, and it's going to affect you because you're near your phone. I don't have a 5G phone. Like my last phone I had, all of a sudden this time last year I started seeing 5G on it. I said, "What the heck? It's not even supposed to be 5G capable."
Right. Well,
so why am I seeing 5G on there?
Do you know what? Are all of the Apple phones because I heard that the one that they're coming out with, maybe I don't know, September, maybe those phones are going to be 5G phones.
Well, I had an iPhone 8 and it said 5G on it. Okay. It said 5G on the top. So that was now my wife's iPhone 7 didn't have it, but when I would go certain places, 5G would pop up on it. I said, "Oh, heck no." And then I noticed I started feeling weird around that time. So I gave that phone up and went and downgraded to a BlackBerry that can only do 4G. So I'm not messing with that 5G crap. Nope.
Well, I don't want 5G myself. And I don't know how old, like my phone doesn't, this is a 6S that I have. It's kind of old.
Good.
But I don't know if like the SE is what I just ordered it. And I don't know if that's going to be one, or they just going to call all the ones, in September. Those are going to be the ones that are targeting, with 5G on it.
Well, I heard you can turn it off.
Oh, you can.
You can go into the data menu where you choose the data, and then you can turn off your LTE, and that's what it's going to be on. And it won't do it. Like you can turn off your 5G capability on your phone, or who you got, Verizon or Sprint or AT&T?
I have a T-Mobile.
Tell them that you don't want a 5G. Tell them you don't want it to be 5G capable, because you got to pay for the 5G access, by the way.
Okay.
Just say, "Oh no, I don't want the 5G access. I'll stick with 4G and go from there."
Cool. Well, that helps. Yeah, well, thank you for that. Yeah, because I don't want that. I've been around enough waves, if you will. I mean, I don't want it. But like I said, I was just, I started out this thing on the whole on the civil disobedience and just the rise. I'm just thinking there's another type of there's another extreme of that, and I'm thinking unfortunately that might come up if they don't I don't know. I just don't think they're going to bend to the will of the people is what I don't. Either way, they don't care whether we're starving. They don't care whether you're sick. They don't care. Nope. They don't care if we're running, the supply lines are low. It's just not going to be, they're not going to care.
Yeah. They won't care until people start rising up in a different way. So civil disobedience is a good way to start, right? And if they want to push after that, we got to be willing and ready to defend ourselves. That's really all it is to it. I mean, the Revolutionary War was only won with, I think, 1 million people.
Yeah, like
1 million people on our
something I heard of the population.
Yeah, and a lot of people didn't want to fight them. So, it is what it is. Like people have to be willing to, and I think people are waking up to it, man. I think, like even all these liberals that bought all these guns and ammunition, they said, we're doing it to protect our family from robbers. No, I think you really know who you got that for. Deep down in their mind, they know who they really want to protect their families from.
Well, to that end, didn't they say that Trump declared that those shops were essential? It's not open here. Like they said they're going to back up on the 15th.
That was a guideline. That was more of a suggestion. That was more of a federal guideline. The states in locals, they can do what and that's why I say abolish government altogether. I told Brandon, I said, start with decentralizing and go to sovereign states. Even then you start breaking it down from there. Break it down from the state governors and go to the locals. Mm-hmm. And then break that down, and then just people form communities where they have similar interests. That'll form naturally because we're human beings. Human beings are naturally social, and we congregate based on common beliefs and all that. That will normally naturally happen, and you just got to be willing and ready to defend your community, by any means.
Well, that's a great point, because even with these orders that they're putting out, they're not laws. But then, how do you know? Am I supposed to? Does the state order override my local one? Or if I don't wear the mask, if the governor says you wear the mask, and then my city says you don't have to wear the mask, you know what I mean?
It's all arbitrary. It's ridiculous. Like, that's why I say, just leave people alone. Like, if people want to wear a mask, let them wear a mask. If they don't want to wear a mask, then let them not wear a mask. It's as simple as that. Like, they're not harming anybody. So if you want to not be harmed, just put the mask on. If you don't want to contract anything, put your gloves on. Don't breathe any fresh air. Walk around like people do in China, 24/7 with mask on because they can't breathe the air. It's ridiculous. It's absolutely. This makes sense.
For coming on and taking the time and even sharing your experience with the Costco and all. But yeah, but definitely, like I said, I'll stay tuned, and I'm probably going to head over to your page today, because some of the other shows will be coming up later. Some of the ones that I tune into.
Okay.
But as I said, I know, okay, just for example, when they had, Trump had that African American history program, I'm like, well, I'll probably never get invited to anything like that, because for one, right, I'm a smaller YouTuber, but then at the same time, I'm not going to campaign for anybody. You know what I mean? I don't.
Right.
And I've gotten, you get offers for stuff like that. Oh, text this to this number and that. No.
Yeah. I feel you. No. Yeah. I want, when I see somebody campaign up there and say, hey, my number one campaign promise is to abolish the Fed. As soon as I get in office, I abolish the Fed.
Do that. I thought he was going to do that. Like, why didn't you get rid of kick the bankers out altogether? Why didn't you do that?
Well, they said he absorbed it, right, or brought it into the fold. You're just bringing it. I mean, all you're doing is changing the status from private to federal, which makes it even worse. Why didn't you just completely, we're abolish the Fed, abolish the IRS? We don't need either one of them.
Well, there's one other example with all these press conferences. They have so many press conferences every week. You know, like I think it's almost like at one point he was almost changing his tone. I'm like, you've kind of changed your tone on China. Like this was about
30 times already.
Like 1 minute the heat is on, you know, the heat's turned all the way up. And then the next time it's like turned down. Like,
yeah, because Jean Poon Powell called him and said, look here, Pimpin, keep it up. And we're calling in our stocks. We're selling everything. And then that'll completely demolish the economy. Like the central bankers couldn't even handle that. You know, that would just completely fold everything. And they're not ready for the dollar to fold yet. They got to get the cryptocurrency ironed out and lined up so that everything is digitized. And people are going to start going back to the barter system. People got to start going back to the barter system, huh?
So you think that's coming? That crypto or something?
Oh, absolutely. Yes.
Monetary system is going to change.
Yes. Have you seen Demolition Man? It's going to be like Demolition Man.
I think so. I remember. Yeah.
All you can eat is Taco Bell. You can't even wipe your butt with toilet paper. You can't touch people. You can't have sex. You got to go to the lab and have babies. Like that's where this is headed. This dude Tactile made it all up. Like he was brilliant because people and that's where we're headed. Like that was predictive programming. That's exactly where we're headed. Cryptocurrency, cars that fill up with foam when you get in an accident, which is probably not a bad thing. You know, seashells instead of toilet paper. Like, yeah. Anyway.
Yeah, well,
I'm gonna get off this.
Thanks so much, and
thank you,
everybody. This is Snapzilla Gorilla that's joining us on this live stream. So if you don't know who he is, you need to get on over to his page and check out the neighborhood. I appreciate you.
Yeah. All right, thank you.
Take care. Okay.
Much love to y'all.
Okay.
Bye.
Thanks. Bye. All right, ladies and gentlemen, if you're still hanging around, but that was Snapzilla Gorilla, and you know we kind of got into the throes of things, but all of them are very much contributing factions to to what's going on. But yeah, I appreciate you guys for coming in. I'm giving another 5 minutes, and then I'm probably going to shut this stream down. If I come back out later, it may be just another like spontaneous, not really scheduled one. And that one will certainly be just kind of much more. We'll do less on the times, if you will, and we'll just do a chill stream and do shout outs, and I don't know, maybe we'll even add some music. Maybe we'll have some music on the next one, but this was a scheduled stream, so thanks so much. Let me see if there's anything I need to catch up. I appreciate you guys are speaking out. It says gun shops are not closing per Second Amendment. Well, some of them are. Like I can't get in there. You can't get in there to do anything, and it says to check the website. That's yay. Old Head Deuce. And Old Head Deuce said something. He doesn't think the 5G and Corona, beer is not. Beer viruses are linked. Let's see. Snapzilla here. He says, my audio is horrible. But yes, thank you so much, Snapzilla, for coming on and sharing with us. Thank you for coming on and sharing with us. Always nice to have you on. But yeah, like I said, just a few minutes, we're going to wrap this one up. And hope you guys are, like I said, enjoying your Saturday. And then did I hear, is somebody in here from Canada? Because of course I have people from all over the globe coming by, and yeah, I just Old Head Deuce, thank you so much. Thank you for coming in. I'm going to see if I'm friends with you. Maybe I am. I'll check. I'll check and make sure that I'm connected, or at least I've been over to your guys' places to see how you're doing and what your content looks like. And then what I will do on Monday, I will tell you exactly how I'm going to choose the playlist of the week. And then that next Monday we'll roll over. I'll roll over Monday. You get another playlist. And then that I'm going to run the playlist. Yep. And that's a little bit of a little quid pro quo, I guess, on here. But it's also, it's support, what can I clean it up and call it? It's support. It's me looking at your content, and sometimes I think the content, the playlist could probably contribute to, might help, with some of the other videos that you haven't watched, or it might fill in some of the perspectives that you see on this show, or if you see on somebody else's show. Because a lot of things that I cover, that I talk about on live stream, are things that I've actually already covered. I've covered in detail on an actual video and content creation. And other times it's just, I'm trying to do something I'm doing a little bit lighter, and just, doing something a little lighter on the stream. But I do like bringing specifics to the stream also. And, but you'll see some more structure to the streams. And, like I said, in about 30 seconds, I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to go do my shout outs, and then I'm going to bid you guys adieu. Old Head Deuce, thank you so much for coming in, and thank Derek C. Williams. If you guys don't know who Derek C. Williams is, please get over to his content and his channel. Check him out. Lynn, aka Lynn Yin Chin, thank you for coming in. Snapzilla Gorilla, my guest for today. Thank you for coming in. Let's see, what else do we have? I think we had a couple of others earlier, so I just want to make sure I get everybody. And Chrysler Imperial H, thank you for all you do. Thank you. Thank you for the work that you do, and thank you for just being you and contributing to Black Spring. And let's see, Caterer and Hair TV was here earlier. Thanks so much. What else do we have here? Make sure I don't miss anybody. I try to do it, even though it's a little bit. I think there was one other person that I missed, but I may see it on the way out. So I'm going to read one more comment, and that's going to call it. I just saw it. Oh. Maybe I covered it already. Okay. Well, once again, I'd like to thank everybody for joining me on this segment of Black Spring Live. And the last comment, hi, Tita Ching TV. Sorry, we're signing off, but thank you so much for coming in. And thank you, Lynn. And everybody take care and enjoy the rest of your Saturday.